Right, hello there, people of the internet. My name is Jagero, and this is Dialogues with Jagero. It is a wonderful Madaraka Day. No, it's not Madaraka Day. Which day is it, bro? What is this one? What is this one called?
Eid ul Adha.
Eid ul Adha. Yeah, it's some sort of a Muslim holiday. They never have exact date. They are moon-like kind of things.
Yeah, they just predict.
They just predict.
They're just like, oh, we've seen the moon. So like they're the moon people, the people of the moon.
But I don't. Do you really think that we should have holidays that are not? Is it only happening in Kenya? Or it's happening everywhere else? This kind of, we don't know when the holiday is gonna be.
I'm ignorant about it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's happening everywhere. But it's always the sighting of the moon, sighting of there's something. I don't know the Muslim.
But I don't think it is important for an economy to live like that, where we don't know when we are gonna have a holiday.
I agree. Like I think in the last 3 days, we've lost so much money. The last three holidays rather, because last week we were having a very long weekend, then this week is also another long weekend. The economy makes about 1 billion to 2 billion every day. If that day goes to rest, then we lose that amount of money. So I think we should be having more weekends more holidays on the weekends as compared to more holidays within the week.
Yeah. Because I really didn't think that we needed to have to take if a holiday is falling on a Sunday, what's going on? What's wrong?
They say if a holiday is falling on a Sunday, it's compensation, a displacement compensation formula.
Yeah.
Where Sunday is a weekend, so if a holiday falls on Sunday, then the Monday that follows it is considered also a holiday. But I don't know the calculation, but yeah, they've decided.
So let's talk about you, mister. You've done a lot of good things. But you brought 2 books, and you wanted to tell me about these 2 books.
Yes.
This is Brian Otieno. There's another name of yours.
Odhiambo Otieno.
Odhiambo Otieno.
Correct.
You call yourself Odhiambo Otieno?
Yes.
Are you getting working as far as naming is concerned, where we are all dropping our names? Do you think that is important to you? Because I also dropped Ken Anthony, and now I'm Jagero.
No, let me tell you. I worked as a journalist at Kenyan News Agency.
Yeah. KNA.
KNA, yeah. Under Mr. Kaiga. And when I was there, I used the name Brian Otieno, but there were so many Brians, and especially his son, the son of the boss, was called Brian. And he gave me another name. So he went by my ID names of Odhiambo Otieno and did away with the Brian. And so that byline, you know what's byline in journalism, right?
Yes.
The name that appears on your pieces when they are published. And it went out as popular as such. So many people knew or could read pieces by Odhiambo Otieno, but they didn't know who this person was. So when I came out on social media, etc., I just went with the name Odhiambo Otieno. The reason why I dropped Brian is, of course, the stereotype is also bad. Brio. I don't look like a Brian.
How do Brian's look?
I don't know.
How do Brian's look, bro?
You tell me.
It's like Brother Bernard thing.
Yes. I hear they say brios are not. So there's that stereotype around it.
That brios are what?
That brios are bad. They are hoish, something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't think I wanted to be identified like that. No, because I'm not that. In fact, I wanted to be a priest, a Catholic priest.
Did you try?
Yes, I did.
You were an altar boy?
For the longest.
Really?
Yeah. In Catholic Church. Though now I'm in SDA.
What exactly is an altar boy, by the way?
An altar boy is not just an altar boy. We also have altar girls.
Yes, I know. We got
okay. So what they basically do is assist the priest in the functions of the mass that are non-priestly. Like there are things that the priest can do. There are things that the rest cannot do. So why was it established? I believe, because I've not studied it keenly, but I believe it was established that we could start interning through apprenticeship into priesthood. Because most of the people we were with on the altar as altar boys have ended up as priests. Even in Rangala boys where I studied, they've ended up as actual priests. Very few of us who didn't make it.
For obvious reasons. Kuja na kiti yako kidogo hivi ndani. Yes.
Let's see good.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you who you are. And people of the internet, we are going to be talking about divorce. This gentleman has divorced twice, and he tells me that he will get married again. He told me that divorce has got demons. They will say that. Tell me about these books. Why is it that these are the 2 books that you really love? Have they been the the way you go about your life?
I love
the concise laws of human nature and the tipping point. Why do you love these books?
I love these two books and another one by Malcolm Gladwell as well called The Outliers. But the reason I love these books majorly is because the concise laws of human nature simply invite you to audit yourself.
Okay.
And understand who you are. Because if you want to understand human nature, you're not going to understand it from people's perspective. No.
Yeah.
You must first understand yourself before you go to people. Then the tipping point is basically what we call the point of inflection in any graph.
Yeah.
And this book talks all about it. How then do you shift from where you are to the next stage?
Yeah.
And I like both of them so much. They're like my Bible.
Let's get back to this.
Yeah.
You have to look at yourself. You have to go back into yourself. What does that mean? What does that mean in the way you live your life? Like, what has to be wrong for you to start looking back into yourself so that you propel yourself forward? How do you do that?
Let me tell you. If you look at yourself, or rather, most people live in the third person.
Okay.
Like, you remember we had the first person participle, second, third. So, nafsi ya tatu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, watu wengi wanapenda kuishi kwa nafsi ya tatu. Si kwa nafsi yao ya kwanza. So now, if you live in nafsi ya tatu, it means you look at yourself in totality, but as in existence of the other person. Like, for example, I say, I am the way I am because of Jagero.
Yeah.
Jagero has made me do this. Jagero has made me done that. My reactions, everything is Jagero. There's nothing about me. So this book calls you to look at you and say, hey, here's a mirror. This is you first. Before you look at any other person who has done things to you, this is you.
And what is this? And who are you?
Yeah, who are you? Because
so you're getting to the difficult part of knowing that I am a latecomer.
Yes.
I don't respect time.
Yes.
I am always talking badly to people.
Yes.
I am disrespectful to people. I am this and that. I am a thief.
I'm a thief. Good.
I am corrupt.
I'm corrupt, yeah. I love women.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It basically holds the mirror in front of you and tells you this is. It's not a very pleasant thing to look at because many people are afraid to face themselves.
And so once you face yourself, then how do you become better? What does
because there are things. If you allow me, I will read something there.
Yes, you can.
This is page 58, 59.
Yeah.
It talks about determining the strength of people's character. And I'll read for you 3 parts.
Yeah.
It says people's character is formed in their earliest years and by their daily habits. Then it says, gauge the relative strength of their character by how well they handle adversity, their ability to adapt and work with other people, their patience and ability to learn. Okay? Then it also continues to say, know thoroughly your own character so you can break your compulsive patterns and take control of your destiny.
Yeah.
And it says, character is destiny. Character is destiny. So it means your destiny has nothing to do with people.
Whatever they do to you.
It has nothing to do with
Never.
Never, ever. It has everything to do with you.
But if somebody does something to you, for example, before the podcast, we were talking about your attack.
Yes.
Somebody that attacked you in Kisumu.
Yes.
You are coming from enjoying yourself.
Yes.
At a place.
Strip club.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Just speak.
No, that we are digressing. I've never understood what.
Yeah.
Because strip club, I've never been to a strip club.
Oh.
Never.
Why?
I have always wondered. So strip club.
Yeah.
You go to see women stripping.
No.
Why do men go to strip clubs?
You go there for entertainment.
Okay, and then entertainment
those women are at work. Okay. They're working. It's work like any other work. They're working. And I respect that. I used to do it, but now I don't do it anymore. Yeah. So they're working like any other person. So you go in and they dance. There are very many places of sitting. There are those who sit at the VIP. Those ones want to see the actual dance. Some of us go there because we're supporting our people who are actually doing these shows. Like my guy, MC Oye, who does these shows. I used to go and support him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, as a trained journalist, I was curious. What is happening in this strip club? What is it a sin? How bad is it? What happens really? These guys just dance. Yes, it is a very adult dance. And there is nothing like absolute nudity. It is very controlled nudity. And that's it. There's nothing more.
What is controlled nudity?
Where you don't see everything else. The key parts are sealed off. then they just dance.
Like you can't see the vagina, you can't
can't.
see you can't see the tip of the boobs.
You can't. Though there are other strip clubs I've learned, because I've never gone to those ones, where I understand is absolute nudity. I've never gone to those ones.
Because that is my understanding of a strip club.
Okay. So I've never done that.
People of the internet, do you have a strip club?
Yeah.
I would love to speak to a stripper though on my podcast.
They're interesting people. I did a piece in 2013 called The Sex Dance of Kisumu.
The sex dance of Kisumu.
Yeah. Oh, I did a very nice story which appeared on the dailies. Because Kenyan news agency sells to news outlets. So I did the Sex Dance of Kisumu, and I had very inspirational stories from the streets and also from Airbnbs down there, and organized prostitution, which is happening down there.
Is there pimping in Kisumu?
A big one. It's a big market right there.
Really?
It's a big market. Yeah.
Anyway, we were talking about the fact that anything that happens to you is
Your character.
your character.
Yeah.
But I was telling you that you were attacked when you were coming from a
strip club.
From a strip club.
Yeah.
So why are you to blame for that? Because you went there?
Yeah. Because I went there out of my character of curiosity of going to understand what was going on there. And as I was leaving, it was an unfortunate coincidence that it happened, but I was finding myself in the timeline of my character because
okay.
Yeah, the timeline of my character was avail yourself at this dance joint at this point, which of course the dance joint is a place where normally I would not go as a normal human being. But because I was going to support this friend of mine, who then I was sharing a timeline with. Okay? So once I exist in a timeline, it means my character is going to affect your character. Okay? So this shared timeline then made me meet these thugs who are also sharing a timeline. So we were on one orbit, I could say that. Okay? So just that different objects, but we are on the same orbit. And then we collided. And this is what happened.
Yeah. Interesting. Talking about that, let's back up a little bit to who you are, don't we? Because I had somebody calling you a professor in Kisumu.
Oh, really?
Did I hear them calling Sebi or they were calling you?
Both of us.
I was a bit surprised because I was thinking, are they calling Sebi or are they calling Odhiambo?
Yes. I have a friend who named me Prof.
Okay.
His name is MC Tall. And also my students, because I taught at the university for 4 years, from 2017 to late 2019. And when you are teaching in the university, basically, you are entering the dawnship.
Okay.
Yeah. So our students will obviously normally call you Prof.
All right.
And I also believe it's a baptism because there's something they see.
Yeah.
I've never called myself a prof. Instead, I call Sebi Prof because Sebi is a PhD candidate currently. Okay. Myself, I'm not yet there. All right. But
do you want to be a professor?
Of course, I'm going to be a professor in a matter of time.
In a matter of time. So tell me about yourself. Then we can go to your your 2 marriages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to know? My name is Odhiambo Otieno.
Yeah. Just tell me about you. I mean, it's social proof. Like people wanting to know you, what you do. Because there are things you do and you don't want to sell yourself, bro.
That's the disadvantage of public speaking trainers again.
Yeah.
So yeah, my name is Odhiambo Otieno. I am a public speaking trainer. I do a lot of communication consultancy. Majorly, I love training children and adults. What I'm looking at is giving the society a chance to listen without prejudice, but also speak without the fear of being judged. So I'm looking at empowering children and adults to find themselves, because my training is not just about teaching people confidence.
Yeah.
It goes deep into finding yourself, because before you understand how to speak, you must know who are you and why do you want to speak. I come from a family of 6, of course, my father and mother and 4 siblings, 2 girls and 2 boys. And I've been married before, twice.
Yeah.
Yes. And the twice, they've failed. And I'm proud of the moments that we had.
Yeah.
Very proud, because they were very good moments. But also they were very bad moments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we get into marriage, let's get back. You know, I love good things when I hear them.
Yes.
You train people to gain confidence.
Yes.
And what else?
So it is like a corrective surgery.
Okay.
Because everybody's born confident. But the challenge is the environments we're exposed to then reshape us. They define us. So once you're defined, you live along that line. And I teach people to break the definitions that they have as current. Okay? For example, you could be growing up as a child who has been told you are stupid by your mother, by your father, by somebody who you grew up in their care. Then you finally grown and you realize that there's so much that you can do, but since you are defined as stupid, you don't want to get out of it. But you realize there's so much you can do. So in that struggle, you come to me, and I will show you why you're not stupid, and that's just a definition, and you have another lease of life. So it's borderline psychology, but also coming out to speak, and also to just embrace yourself, because it's very difficult to be who you are, for example, Jagero.
Exactly.
If you hate yourself in private. So there are those struggles, and I believe I read your piece the other day.
Yeah, which one?
Actually, you write so well. I was so impressed. Actually, that day I was calling you, and things were misbehaving. I wanted to tell you that you write so well, and I have never known that you're such a good writer.
But I've written 4 books, bro.
I didn't know.
You've never known that I've written 4 books?
For how long have we been friends? I've never known. Where are they?
This is one of them.
Really?
This is The Ghost of 1894, my first book.
I've never known.
You've never known?
I've never known.
This book,
Yeah.
when I
Let me hold it. Let me show it to the camera there, right?
Yes.
This book here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually my second book.
Oh.
And do you know something interesting?
Yes.
That I foresaw the Gen Z movement in my first book, True Citizen. Like the way it happened.
For real?
Yes.
Documented?
Yes. The way it happened, I wrote it in a fiction book called True Citizen. When the people took over the government using technology. Whoa. It's in my book. I will give you that book.
You know, the problem with people like you and me is that we don't market ourselves. We are too humble. And recently I've taught in my classes that humility is a bad thing.
Humility is a bad thing.
It's a bad thing. Don't be humble.
Yeah. Don't be humble.
No, you can't be humble.
Yeah.
Otieno taught me that. Yeah. Professor Otieno told me don't be humble.
Yeah.
Make money. So, such books that have been written, we don't market them enough because I've been your friend. I've not known that you've written a book.
Yeah. So this book I went to when I finished college.
Yeah.
I decided that I wanted, when I was growing up in Nyakach, my grandfather, Okelo Gwenmogo, had a radio called Nation that we used to call Nation. It was made of wood. And it was stuck on only one station. And only my grandfather knew how to return it to another, to Luo.
Yeah.
Chamge.
Yes.
So we would, my cousin called Carl, who would tell me, let's go and ask grandfather for the radio so that we go taking care of animals with it. And so when we went there, it was always stuck on BBC. So in 1994, there was a lot of rain in Nyakach and all over Nyanza region. Very bad rain. And we used to get into a bila. A bila is where the small hut they use for
for the animals or something.
Uko animals, you go to that abila to eat lunch.
Yeah.
Because the mother will bring the lunch uko by the shores of River Nyando.
Yes.
So we would be stuck there with the radio listening to BBC. And it would be raining. There was a story that was going on that 100,000 people were dying per day in Rwanda in 1994.
Oh yeah.
At the very end of it, that killed almost 1 million.
That's the genocide, right?
Yeah, the genocide of 1994. And that story stuck with me throughout my life. When I finished college, I had a weird yearning to go and see Rwanda.
Did you?
I did.
You saw the skulls?
Yes, I went to Rwanda. And I stayed there for 1 year researching this book.
Jesus Christ.
Talked with the people that fought.
Brilliant, man.
Yeah, that fought on the front line. But no, when I went to Rwanda, I realized that the genocide started in 1894. In Germany.
1990.
100 years before.
Okay. In Germany.
In Germany. That is where this thing was all done. Then it goes to Belgian Congo. From Belgian Congo, when the Germans were fucking up with the Belgians in Europe, you remember there were Germans in Rwanda, and then there was the Belgian Congo.
Yes.
So the Belgians saying that if you're fucking with us in Europe, because they burned houses and villages in Belgium, the Belgium decided to kick them out of Rwanda, and then took over Rwanda. In 1962, they started giving preferential treatment to the Tutsis, pissing off the Hutus.
Yes.
And they started squabbling and destroying each other's homesteads.
So it's the Tutsis who are in government then?
Yes.
Or they were Hutus?
They were Tutsis in government because the Belgians loved the way their women looked. And so if you have good women, we love you.
Really?
Yes.
Is that basic?
Yes.
Jesus
and so
Christ.
all the chiefs were Tutsis.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes. And I understand they were the minority or something.
They were the minority. Okay? And then in 1960s, there was a revolution. And they took over.
This is in Rwanda.
Yes, they took over. And then it boiled and boiled and boiled. Even Kagame left during the 60s.
Yes, and he came to Uganda. Yes. I remember he served in Uganda.
Yeah, that's when they left. And he actually joined Museveni.
Yes.
In the fight for
against the Obote.
Against Obote and a few other individuals there.
Yes.
Yeah, so I went there and did this book, The Ghost of 1894.
We need to launch this book.
We will launch it.
We need to launch this book.
We will launch
and the three others.
And the three others. There's one called
book.
The True Citizen, and then there's one of my favorites is called Why the Hospital Corridor is True. It's white. Why the hospital corridor is white. Yeah, it talks about a woman that is married to a woman that is married to the hospital.
Wow.
She's a neurosurgeon.
Okay.
And the husband is an accountant. The husband says this woman is now married to the hospital. Me, I gotta go and get some other girl. And it is just her journey of sadness towards that. And then I wrote Semicolon. Semicolon is a group of short stories. Semicolon is a story about a woman that decides to die. But before she dies, she's gonna go and see the world. So she goes. She's traveled to Zanzibar. And when she's on the journey, she meets a group of people that wanted to die, wanted to commit suicide. But now, instead of putting a full stop in their lives, they put a semicolon to go on with their lives. So that's the book. That's called Semicolon.
Nice.
Then I wrote one that is very controversial called Urban Lovers and Liars. This is about the sex and the escapades in the city.
Very wonderful.
Nairobi.
Nairobi
so
is wonderful.
I am a writer.
Bwana.
Yeah. So
Congratulations. We need to sit down
Writing,
and do book reviews.
Writing is my. In fact, you are talking about social club.
Yes.
We should be discussing books at the social club.
I agree.
Have you considered collaborating with the DWJ? Or you are envious of how good I am?
No. Of course, I'm envious. Of course, that's a fact. Envy is good. Jealous is bad.
Is it?
Envy
I
is
don't
very
even know the difference.
Envy is wanting positively what the other person has.
But jealousy is feeling bitterness,
feeling negative and
feeling
somebody having. Okay, but even God is jealous. He writes.
Yeah, God
I'm
is
a jealous God.
I'm a jealous God.
Yeah,
not envious.
No, not envious. I'm a jealous.
I'm a jealous.
There's nothing that God can envy about us. We are so broken. But I think genuinely though, we need to talk about these books.
But even people knowing me, people knew me as a writer.
Jesus Christ! I've never known.
That's how people
look at this. I'm knowing this now.
Yeah, but anyway,
so
this podcast is about you.
I'm more interested about you now. Anyway, it's okay. Yeah.
So, I have been married for 10 years.
Successfully.
Why do you have to add the word?
Because it's successful. Once you hit 10 years, you're successful.
But do you think that's a long time?
It is a long time depending on a few number of things.
Yeah.
My ex-mother-in-law told me that if you guys hit 10 years, then you're successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ex-mother-in-law?
Yes.
That's a new term, bro. That's a new term.
Yeah.
You're actually on a podcast talking about calling your mother-in-law an ex-mother-in-law.
Yeah, ex-mother.
She's no longer your mother-in-law.
No, she's no longer my mother-in-law. Now she's just my mother who is my friend. She's remained as my pastor though.
As your pastor?
Yeah. She's a woman I love.
Yeah.
Deeply.
Anyway,
deeply, yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about your first marriage?
Yes.
How did you meet the girl?
Well, interesting. So as I was working for the governor of Kisumu then, the first governor, I had some money coming in.
Yeah.
And I was living in the slums of Nyalenda. And then I had to move.
Katuaro?
No. A place called Western. I was actually born and brought up in Western.
I know Western. There is a lady that does very good here at the Upper Karibuna. You know Tomboya College?
Yes,
on this other side, there is a lady that has been selling food there for a very long time, Mama somebody.
Mama Safi.
Yes.
Yeah. I ate at Mama Safi all my life.
So Western is just around there.
No, Western is quite next to Milimani on your way to Kachok.
on your way to
opposite Kenya Assemblies of God.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know
Western.
that place.
No, that's Western.
Yeah,
So
Western.
I was born.
It's a very narrow nini.
It's a lane.
Yeah, it's
actually,
a lane.
Actually, Nyalenda is so well planned that there are lanes. So we have, if you start from
So
Kachok,
Pandipiri is in Western.
No. So Pandipiri is a lane also on its own.
Okay.
So we have, if you come from Kachok, we have Nyaori lane.
Yes.
Then we have Javaisha lane. Then we have Hollywood lane. We have Kawata lane.
Yes.
Western lane. Then we have Sulwe lane. Then Pandipiri lane. Kilo lane.
Yeah. Kilo.
Yes, Kilo lane. Then we have which other towards the and Katworo. Now Katworo is like the posh estate of Nyalenda. We lived there. My dad afforded us some land
yeah.
in 2002. Yeah.
You know, my sister was married in Nyalenda.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where exactly?
I don't know if you
Because
remember.
there are homes also in Nyalenda.
Yeah, there are homes. There is a place called Kowino.
I know Kobino. Kobino is
Yes.
around Nyauri.
Yes, Nyauri there.
There's
Before the bridge.
Yes, I know it. There's the big market.
Yeah. So my brother-in-law was actually the son to Owino.
Ah.
Yeah.
Those are now Joka Sagam.
Joka Sagam, exactly.
There are Luyas who came from Sagam around Maseno. Who settled there, but now they were assimilated into Luo. Nyalenda is basically for Luyas actually.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, Joka Sagam are Luyas.
Yeah. So go ahead with the story.
Yeah. So I met these. So when I got some little money at the county government, I decided to change my life. I remember I was paid 1.6 million shillings for a contract I did, and one of the things that I had desired in my life was to. Actually, the goals in my life as I was growing up was to have a degree like my father, because I used to see his photo on our wall. 2, I wanted to live in a house where I could shit and wash myself.
Yeah.
Without getting outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those were my basic dreams in life. Just have a degree, have a house where you can shit and wash inside, and that's all. And when I got money, I got this. And so I went and rented a house in Lolwe, but I was still maintaining my Nyalenda house. We were like, I don't know how it could go, because the rent was 16,000.
Yeah. Down in Lolwe.
Yes, in Lolwe.
Uh-huh.
But in Nyalenda, it was my dad's compound. So I was living rent-free in a 2-bedroom house. So like, no, I can have it, but I can have my house in Nyalenda as well. So if things don't go well, I can always come back. Yes, I kept the 2 houses. Now, this house in Lolwe, I had a jirani. It was my friend called Ochibo. Now he's late. He died of diabetes. Ochibo used to, the youths who sit in the house when you're not there. So I used to ask him, hey, can I get somebody to help me wash my stuff, clothes, weke usafi? Like, what are you looking for? My sister is here, she can help you. Like, okay. So the sister used to come and help me. And long story short, we were there.
Who are you asking?
The brother now. The brother gave me the sister.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And the sister, we then found ourselves in a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah, I truly loved her. Truly.
And who was she? At what stage of life was she?
Yeah, at that time she was doing her college in Kisumu, and I was teaching in Maseno. But I loved the way she used to cook.
Maseno University?
Yeah, Maseno University, Kisumu campus. I loved the way
Kisumu campus, yeah.
Kisumu campus, yeah. But I also used to do quite some for the main campus, just that at the level that I was teaching, I was a part-time lecturer, so I wasn't allowed to teach undergrad. So I was teaching diploma and certificate holders or trainees. Yeah. So there we were. And this lady was very good. Amazing. She's still a very good person. There are just things we didn't agree on. And a few things that shocked me in life. And I said, well, it doesn't seem like you were interested in this. And maybe it's time for us to think differently. But she was an amazing person. I loved how she used to cook. I loved her Kiswahili. I love Swahili so much. I loved the way she was very relatable and very respectful. This was an amazing woman, very beautiful, and she had a very nice shape. Jagero. You're taking me back.
Is she the one that you came with to my office over there?
No. That was the second one. That's the second marriage.
I
always get very good.
You have affinity for Nyash?
Of course, yeah.
Is it a Luo thing, by the way?
No.
For men?
It's a psychological thing.
Can you say more about that?
Men who, like women who are well endowed, your subconscious imagines that they are well fed, and they have the shock effects of when they fall down in case of a pregnancy, the child will survive.
Yeah.
It's all there on the internet. You can check. Yeah, it's a psychological thing.
So the first marriage.
Yeah.
When you got married the first time, what did you feel about it? Did you feel like this is what I've been looking for? Was it strenuous? What was going on there? Did you feel okay? Because right now, if you read the Red Pill community like Aliet and
Jacob Aliet,
yeah, and the rest of them, they tend to think that marriage does not give men anything. As a matter of fact, it turns you into a donkey. It turns you into somebody that is always hitting the gutter looking for money, and basically you get children, and the children finally gravitate towards their mother, and it becomes a thankless job. What were some of the things that you got into marriage and you're thinking, gosh, I wish I knew this?
Perspective is reality. So if the perspective is that, I don't agree with them, of course. I think we benefit both differently. The primary reason why people go into marriage is nothing of what they're talking about. The primary reason why people go into marriage is for companionship. Companionship, leave alone the economies of scale that we are talking about. It is basically being available for the other person. Taking storing, having children, stabilizing yourselves economically. Nothing else. The rest, I think, people are trying to create things around it. So yeah, my experience was marriage was very beautiful. And it is still a very beautiful thing. Ours was nice. I remember those days I used to wake up and have classes in Maseno. And I would wake up and she would prepare some nice food that I've never eaten in my life. I could just say, I know waru is waru, but she would make it in a different way.
Okay.
Yeah, some nice bajias and mango that is cut in a particular way and presented.
She was a chef.
Oh, God, you don't know. That lady was a chef. I still think she is.
Chef by training, or she just knew? No. She just loved cooking.
She grew up in Mombasa. Actually in Kilifi, Mnara.
All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. You know, everybody says that there is no job. And that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is jagero.co.ke. And now, back to programming.
And I think she had, Waswahili wanapika sana.
Yeah.
And she had that cooking thing. So when I met her, I loved the cooking, genuinely. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So I remember those days that we used to story, even before we started dating, we were just friends. And interestingly, for me, all of them have been my friends, very close friends. So we were just storying, and she would story up to 2 a.m. and then go to their house. And even when we were married, she would story with me for a long time. I loved that bit of just talking and somebody who I could go to other than my family, and we could share time together.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Looking back, what happened? What went wrong?
Everything that could go wrong went wrong, in the sense that there are things which I realized later, which were very shocking. But that is how life is. And these things came to me, and I chose maturity still. I chose her severally, but she didn't choose herself. Yeah.
It sounds like you don't want to talk about the specificities.
I'm ready if you want to get the details.
Yeah, because I think that's a very important thing, because then the learning that people get, because DWJ is about learning.
Yeah.
The learning that somebody's talking about, what are some of the things that you think you should learn about before you get married to somebody? Or at least if somebody knows about them, it's important that they are put on the table before you guys get married.
So many things.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. One of the things which I remember from this marriage, this marriage brought forth a child. And before the child was born, I took my time to consult widely, especially with my grandmother, who is now late. I would travel home very many times to talk to her because of the nature in which the child was coming into the marriage. Okay. It is very simple. I had seen signs before, but I thought that is how life was. I would see her talking to other men, even posting these men on her WhatsApp status. But I thought this is how life was. It's normal, yeah?
Is it?
I thought so. I thought that it is okay. Of course, in my heart, I knew like...
How does a married woman post other men on her WhatsApp status?
But for me...
Or vice versa?
There is a background to it, which I may not want to share, because the people involved are still very alive.
Yeah.
And I would like to preserve them.
Yeah.
But the influence that I had growing up, I saw some things which were normalized in my life.
Okay.
Okay. And so when I saw this lady do whatever she was doing, I was like, this is how life is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even the people of the internet will understand what I'm talking about. That growing up, I saw some things behave in a particular way, and they were normalized, and I thought it was the way to go. So this lady having male friends and posting them, etc., to me it was normal, because I didn't have evidence to say, hey, you're cheating, or it was just whatever was going on. And so the child came forth, and when the child came forth, Jagero, I knew so well that this was not my blood. I knew so well. But I chose grace over everything else, because this is my friend before everything else. Okay? I know it's a weird statement to make to many people who don't understand the concept of grace. But if you look at Matthew 12, chapter 11, verse 12, if I'm not wrong, or 12, verse 11, it talks about Jesus talking about marriage, and he says the qualification of marriage are only two things.
Yeah.
It's grace and aptitude. Grace and aptitude. And marriage is not for everybody. So that was in me, because my grandmother used to tell me that all the time. And I said, I'll accept this child into this marriage as my first.
This child is you get married single, a child comes into marriage, and the child is not yours.
Yes. Yeah.
And how do you know, though? Do you do a DNA?
I didn't want to humiliate either of us.
Okay.
Because the facts were there. There's a moment we did separate. And it was caused by her. You know, drama inakuja tu.
Yeah.
And you're wondering, I can't get where this is coming from. I can't put a pulse on it. Because I am very self-aware.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. Kuna mali nilikosea ili niombe msamaha. But I can't find it. Then she goes, like, unatafutiwa ka mistake. I hear they say so lately on internet.
Yeah.
Unatafutiwa makosa. So,
as a man.
So nilitafutiwa makosa. And that makosa, then she used it to get out. And when she got out, for me, I was like, people kukosana, but we get back. We don't kosana and go away. So as I went back to fetch her, she was already pregnant.
Oh, I see.
Okay. And I was like, it's fine. Anyway, ni sawa. Because one of the things I was really aware of at that time was this PTSD thing. It's called postpartum stress disorder.
Yeah.
Women.
Depression. Yeah.
Yeah. I said I don't want this girl to go through it because I know the man she's carrying the child for. This man is bullshit.
Yeah.
I know him, and I used to warn her. Like, this guy you see you working with, I know his story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I may look insecure now, but I can tell you, there's nowhere this guy is gonna take you. You're like, you're insecure. So, we will see. And so when this happened, I said, I will take care of you. You're my friend. We didn't discuss that this is not my child. No.
But at that point, you knew.
You know, I know. Sawa, serikali. So we keep quiet about it. It's one of the mistakes I did. I looking in retrospect, it's one of the mistakes I did. So when the child was born, on August 6th at 8:30 p.m. at Jaramogi in Kisumu, I was so happy. I was so happy. I looked at the child. I was like, this is now real. I was saying I will accept, but this is now real. Now I have to do it.
Yeah.
And this is forever. And I named the child after my dad. And we went home. And I covered this for a long time. Nobody will ever know. Nobody. In fact, I would never discuss it with anybody. Because for me, I had discussed it with my grandmother only.
What did your grandmother tell you?
Yeah, she told me, a child that is born under your roof is yours. Don't talk about it. That's your child. And many men are living with children who are born under their roofs. And it's just okay. Men don't chase away children. So, karibisha watoto. I'm like, fine. I trust my grandma because she was very prayerful, very kind. And I liked her advice because I found it most balanced. And I took her advice. So, here we are, 8 months later. 8 months. The child is 8 months.
Yeah.
Then I realized something is off. How? One of the friends, and I always said this, a lady's best friend is a worst enemy.
A lady's best friend is a worst enemy.
Worst enemy. Is the flying monkey of the relationship.
What is a flying monkey in a relationship? Forgive me, but I'm not into communication.
No, you are.
I'm a fictional writer and a non-creative writer.
Yeah. A flying monkey is somebody who will cheer you to your grave.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Because they toy with sin. You see, like Judas Iscariot in the Bible.
Was a flying monkey?
It was a flying monkey.
Okay.
Do you know Judas Iscariot did not mean that for Jesus to be crucified? Do you know? I'm telling you.
Yeah. He thought he was just going to get a beating.
Because he had betrayed Jesus before. This was the first time he was betraying Jesus. He had betrayed Jesus where Jesus alipita katikati ya watu. I don't know if you remember that, in Galilee somewhere. And akapita katika and he disappeared. So Judas Iscariot got the thrill that this guy is so miraculous, you know. If I sell him out again, this guy will like escape again.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see.
So in the story of Judas Iscariot and Jesus' crucifixion, if you read it carefully and you get a theologian to sit here with you, he'll tell you that Judas was waiting along the way that Jesus was going to escape. He was going to show these guys dust. So when Jesus failed and he realized that really Jesus was going to die, he then committed suicide. In disappointment. So actually, Judas in his heart must have repented before Jesus was crucified. I can tell you. So there's this friend who came and told me, Odhiambo, you're taking care of this child, but this lady is not loyal. And I, since I was protecting my name, I said, "Wait, nikupate tena useme story kama hiyo. My wife is a good woman.
Yeah.
And that's my son." Sitaki maneno. Long story short, I called a friend and told me, even now, ako pale kwa yule jamaa.
The father to the child.
Yes. And the father to the child, I had gone to him before. This thing that women talk about saying, woman to woman. Me, I've done man to man.
Have you?
Yeah, I've done man to man.
Why did you go to him?
Because somebody I've known for a long time.
He's also born Western?
No. He is from Bondo. And I knew him from a very young age because we were the second generation creatives in Kisumu who helped establish the open mic sessions at the Alliance Française in Kisumu. And these are the people that we were mentoring. He's a very good guitarist. So this guy. So I knew him. So I went to him and asked him, my friend, I think you guys share a name. Come on, Bana.
Ken or which one?
The other one.
Anthony.
Yes. I think you guys share. Yeah.
I don't think my name is Anthony, but you see, because nobody uses it. It only appears on M-Pesa most of the time.
At least I know.
Yeah. Okay. So you talk man to man and you tell him why.
I talked with Anthony.
Uh-huh.
I went to Anthony and told him when I realized there was something going on. And I told him, please, you're somebody I know. I come to your shows to support you. The way you know me in Kisumu, I don't do this stuff. And I'm talking to you because I know you're a man and you can understand where I'm coming from. May this not continue. And said, yeah, do not continue.
He accepts that it has been going on.
But to my wife then, I didn't share this with her. I only told her, this that you're doing is wrong. Because I didn't want to enter discussion with her. It is wrong, get done with it.
Yes.
Okay.
So you tell the man, but you don't tell the woman.
I didn't think there was anything to tell the woman for me. I thought it was wrong, and she should have stopped. As much as I was normalizing it, that is something that is going on, but I needed to stop.
It sounds like this is a woman that you really loved.
Of course, I always love my women.
Because then I would expect you to lose your to go in a tantrum, but it looks to me that you're trying to solve this thing very amicably.
Yeah, the first time. This at the time now, when the revelation was coming, when the child was 8 months, I don't think I was very peaceful. So after this friend of mine told me, I took knives and I went to this guy's house.
Knives?
I took knives. And I wanted to beat him a good one. And the moment, rage is not good. I was blinded. When I went there, I was very lucky he was not there. And so I got a lady, jirani, alikuwa ametoka kuoga. Then he asked me, why are you so angry, young man? Why are you knocking that door like that? Then I told her, this guy is misbehaving with my wife. Like, which one is your wife? This guy has very many women.
Which one is your wife? Allow me to laugh, bro. This guy is Maja Chodi. I
tell this mama that you say he has many women. Then she goes ahead. Ama unasema yule mfupi mwenye anakujanga hapa. This one with the baby locks. I was like, baby locks? Let me show you. So I take my phone and show her. Is this one? Huyu anakujanga hapa. Huyu amekuwa na hata wako na mtoto.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And at that moment, I think I had unresolved issues in me. But that moment that this lady said that this guy recognizes that they have a child, and that was it for me. I said, okay. So ile anger just Elisha. Then I went to the house, back to my house. Already she had come back. Sat her down as a brother.
Yeah.
As my friend. And I talked with her for 3 hours. 3.
The lady.
3. And I told her, hey, shit has happened. We're already here. Stop doing what you're doing. Let's move on. Because if we stick here, we will not move. Yeah? Tuheshimiane. So this is the first time. Now I was sharing with her that actually that child you're carrying is not mine. I know now. And I've always known. But it's the grace that I extended.
But
so
she did not, she thought that you thought that is your child.
No.
She thought.
No. Okay, yeah. She thought that I thought that was my child.
Yeah.
Of course. She thought.
Yeah.
I don't know where she was getting that thought from. Because the calendar was not reconciling. And that's why I even asked her to go and do a test. Because we had taken some time off. And the time we got back, she was already past her ovulation. My friend, I'm very good with ovulation calculation. Mathematics is ovulation.
I am not very good at it.
I'm very good with it. Perfectly good with it. Yeah, so the calculations were not going.
So the 3 hours. You
And
talk,
when I talked to her for 3 hours and we discussed and I told her, please stop doing this. This is wrong. Yeah. Let's move on. I don't want to linger on this small issue. It has happened. There's nothing I can do that can undo this.
Why did you want to still move on with this woman? Was it the shame that comes from the fact that or was it the fact that you love this woman? Or is it the fact that your grandmother had told you that this happens and the best thing to do is to put them under the carpet and move on?
At this moment, it was not even about all those. At this moment, it was the friendship I had for this, or the love I had for this girl and the friendship we shared. And I thought, give people chances. Just give people chances. Things happen. People are learning.
Yeah.
Genuinely, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Then so I was talking to her in the hope that things could change. 3 hours. Next day, at about 12 or 1, I was with the child, and they had come from town. The lady had come from town with the mom, and we were in their house because they lived around where I was living. Though the mom used to work abroad. And the child is crying. You know, there is that cry that when a child makes, a man can control. But there's that one where we don't know how to manage. Like, so what do we do now?
This one has to go to the mother.
They go to the mother. So, but she's not responding, and it was something that was off. So I get out with the child, and I see her changing because she was on call. Then she just drops the call, and the face does not reconcile. And she comes to me and I said, dear, what's wrong? Because, you know, as we talked yesterday, that was gone for me, by the way, Jagero. That is how I talk about it. It is done. I don't keep issues here. It's gone. So when she was coming to me and she said she was talking to nobody. Now, that is a very bad statement. I'm in communication. Don't tell me you're talking to nobody. So I told her, no, you're talking to somebody. Then, it's nobody, don't worry. Then the person was calling incessantly on the phone. But she refused to pick. So I picked issues and said, maybe we'll deal with this later. Now take care of the child. So then later in the evening, I wanted to hold her to account. Now, this is barely 12 hours from the time we talked.
Yeah.
So I take the younger mother, sister Mama Yake, and I walk her to the railway because they were living next to the railway, and ask her, something is off about the beautiful lady. Yesterday we talked, and today something's disturbing her. Apo penye mmetoka town, what has happened? Because when she left here, she was okay. I remember, for me, I had talked to her and tulimaliza maneno. So penye mmetoka town, what is going on right there? Then she told me, oi. How will I help this daughter of mine? I know what has happened. While we were in town, she saw her best friend talking to the lecturer. And that lecturer, they were having an affair.
Your wife?
Yes.
Was he having an affair with the lecturer?
With her lecturer.
And
they were sharing with the best friend.
It is no longer the guy that lives next door in Nyalenda. It's another man.
No, this is not Nyalenda. Now we're in Lolwe. Okay?
Yes.
The father of the child was living in Ogango.
Ogango
is somewhere next to Car Wash.
Yes.
And this lecturer was living in Lolwe as well. Somebody I know very well, because I used to buy all my trousers from his ex-wife as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All my trousers and all my clothes in Kisumu I used to buy from his ex-wife, because the ex-wife was a colleague student or a comrade student at Maseno. So this came to me and I was like, Jesus, this is wrong. This is extremely wrong. There's something that is wrong. This is not normal.
Yeah, this is not. I agree.
Yeah,
there's a bit of problems.
Yeah, there must be a level of restraint.
Yeah.
Once umepatwa na mistake, and especially the gravity that this was, there's a level of restraint.
But why is your mother-in-law telling you about an affair involving her daughter, and she knows that you're married to that same daughter?
I appreciate genuineness, and I have had the advantage in all my marriages of having very genuine relationships with my in-laws, very genuine, and so it's very easy for them to share with me.
But
they know I am safe.
Does she not know that this is selling out her daughter?
What would you prefer, to lie or to find a way out? Because you can protect her by lying, and then she's the one who messes, or you can help her get to reality by telling the gentleman, yeah, this is what's happening.
Okay.
Because you trust the gentleman. He's not going to kill her. I didn't kill her. I didn't beat her. I didn't treat her any wrong way. In any case, if she can, and if one day she may, you can call her to give her side of the story. I would like that. Because I would love to understand also.
Yeah.
Okay? So she was very genuine and shared with me. And I went home telling her, darling, it's just yesterday that we talked. What is this again? You're like, no, I can live even now. It was during the COVID thing.
Yeah.
I can live even now. That guy can come and pick me in a car. 10. I didn't imagine it would go this far.
Yeah.
And she wanted even to park, to leave. Fortunately, it didn't go that direction. Okay, so she didn't park. It was also during those times, Kifika 6, the police cars would be people moving into the houses because of COVID. That time that they used to put the lockdowns. Yeah, so days later, we grew cold with each other. Absolutely cold. I would come into the house, the sitting room, she would go to the bedroom. Go to the bedroom, she would come to the sitting room. It was bad. So one day, as I was doing my morning run, I felt heavy. I felt heavy. I felt too heavy in my heart. I was too irreconciled. This pain was too much. Too much. I came home after my morning run, knelt down and prayed to God and said, God, when I met this girl, just as I've always met all of them, I've always brought them to you first. The one that I know I'll date, I go with them to God. And I pray that, may you give me the heart to love her. And God, you've helped us. Today, when I get up on my knees, I want you to help me with one thing only. Give me the confidence to look into the child's eye and tell the mom to go away. That's what I want. Because I'm burning. I cannot sustain this. And I don't know how I'm going to face this child. And I don't know what's coming after this. When I got up, I went to the bedroom because now I'd moved to the other bedroom. I told her, hey, when this child grows up, I want you to be courageous enough and tell him that I didn't abandon you. But the reality is, this thing is not working. So I'm leaving by 12 when I come back and find you gone. Because I don't want to pretend anymore. I've done my best that I can, and I'm torn right now. I don't have myself anymore, so tell this child in the future the truth, that his father is actually alive. He lives somewhere, and if possible, you can reconcile them. Because I've wanted to take care of this child and I've done it, but you've shown me that you are also inviting the father to this. I'm not going to do 50-50. So that I'm in or zero. And also, remember that I love you very much. I'm not doing this because I hate you. In any case, these cases are too many. One was doable, but these are too many. Find the strength to also forgive me for the things that I've done wrong to you. Of course, I had my wrong things that I did. And we can be friends after that. And that was it. I came back at 1. That house was ghostly. This is around June 2020. That house was ghostly.
What do you mean?
Ghostly. It was my matrimonial home.
Yeah.
And now there was no longer this child. I was so guiltified, if that's the right term.
Yeah.
I tried to play all the scenarios of how things will turn out for this child. With me not being in his life. So many things were happening in my head, Jagero. I don't know. Even after we broke up, I tried to take care of the child a little bit where I could help. But a time came when she texted me and told me, there's no need of you taking care of us or trying to help. Now I have a boyfriend. They said, okay, fine.
When you told her these things, what did she tell you? When after the prayer, you speak with her. What does she tell you?
She never talked.
She never talked?
Never. She kept quiet. It hurt me. It hurt me because I could not reconcile what wrong I had done to her. And that's why perhaps I've been reading this book.
Did you want her to speak?
I really wanted her to speak. Later on in my second marriage, because it was also going bad, I was like, I am the problem.
Yeah.
So I called and asked her, tell me the truth. I'm making mistakes. This one again is disturbing me. What is happening? What did I do wrong to you? I want to know what I did wrong. What is wrong with me so that I understand how to correct these things.
Yeah.
And now when she was talking, she told me, genuinely, I don't think there's anything that did wrong to me which warranted us to break up. I think I was bad in this thing, and I was not understanding myself. But worst of all, your mother was not welcoming me, and that is an issue.
Wow. Interesting, man.
So my first marriage ended. Then I went to the second.
Where did you meet this other one?
Nice one. December 2020.
December 2020, that's the other day.
Yes, the other day. So I was called for a beauty pageant judging.
Yeah.
Adjudication. I've done beauty pageant adjudication for a long time. I train models how to walk, how to talk, of course. So when I was there, one of my co-judges was this very cute girl. But interestingly, I thought this girl was my crush. I had a crush in Kisumu. They looked alike. Exactly. So I even feared talking to her. You know, the crush thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was her throughout until when the introductions came.
Like I had a crush on another woman who in Kisumu.
Juicy.
Yeah. Are married men supposed to have a crush?
There's no problem with it. You know the beauty. The beauty is you appreciating that I had a crush.
Yeah.
It's okay. The thing is,
the lady that was in white. Tell me about her. The one that was, she led one of the panels.
Monica Monio. Jesus Christ. For real? Okay. I'll tell you off camera. Anyway.
Okay.
Jesus. Though she's beautiful.
Oh, she was in white.
I met her day one in Kisumu.
Okay.
And I was blown away.
Oof.
Yeah. And then we've worked since then.
You worked in that.
Yeah, we've worked. Communication-wise, of course, she's a consultant. Nothing else. Jagero. We've worked.
Okay.
Even that
I'm glad you're just working on communication.
Yeah, just on communication.
Okay.
Yeah. You can try your luck, you know.
No. It's a lot of work, man. That is the problem I have with. But I see some men doing it very easily. And without breaking a leg, I find it very difficult to, even when women, tend towards me, it's very difficult for me to, I think for me, I'm always stuck at logistics.
Yeah. You're stuck at logistics.
Yeah.
It's the math, you know?
It's the math.
It's the math,
logistics.
man. It's undoable.
Logistics is hard for...
Yeah.
For a marriage,
you know you're going to spend like 30,000 per meeting.
Yeah, because you see, even my wife has been asking me lately, how are you doing with the fame?
Yes.
You know,
that's a nice one.
I'm not.
I love your wife, man. That's a very courageous question.
Yeah,
because she's checking in with you, knowing, hey, my husband is really exposed. How are you handling it? That's a good one. I like it. I should meet your wife. She's an excellent
my husband is exposed?
Yeah, of course. Very exposed. And he's meeting beautiful girls every other time.
Yeah, they are.
And you know what happens when you're at fame? I know I've been somewhere around there.
Yeah.
People throw themselves.
But I will ask you about fame because when I was in Kisumu, it was a bit overwhelming for me. Because when I went to Kisumu, I realized that everybody in that town knows about me.
Yeah.
Not so much with Nairobi, Nairobi is just a big place.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to ask you whether, and this is after this story, I want to ask you whether, as a Luo who is trying to do good for themselves, is it the pride that all Luos tend to know you at once? I don't know what it is, but anyway, you met the lady at the beauty pageant.
So when she's introduced, I'm like, oh, okay. So she's not the crush, okay, anyway. But she's very cute. I like this girl.
Yeah.
So then as we're judging, she makes a statement. Because we were 3 judges. No, we were 3. Then there was a senior judge who was not judging, Latoya Johnson.
Latoya Johnson from Homa Bay.
Yes, my very good friend.
Oh, is it?
We are very good friends. Yeah. So I hear the female judge who's sitting next to me saying, the next partner I'm looking for. I'm settling down. I'm tired with games.
The lady, the co-judge is saying.
Yeah. And I'm like, I want a woman who really wants to settle. I really want marriage. I really love marriage. I love the institution of marriage. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm like, then I turn. And this is the first time now I'm talking to her. I'm like, are you sure on what you're saying? Because even me, my next partner, we are just settling down. So you could be the partner. As a joke.
As a joke.
Yeah. And I was so scared because I don't know how to seduce girls, man. I don't know. To date, if you bring a woman here and leave me with her.
I think that's a lie. Hey, are you looking at the cameras? Are you looking at the cameras? Talk to Collins. Collins is editing. You need to look at the cameras. Everything is okay. I see reds, but I'm a bit anxious now.
You're a bit anxious?
Yes. Everything is okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So even if you bring a woman and leave me with a woman here, I'll be so scared. I don't know how to talk to her. We grew up being told seduction is wrong, etc. So it's still in me. There's a level of respect that I give to them. So I wasn't afraid of taking her number because I remember that time my phone got spoiled. I didn't have a phone to take her contact. So I remember asking her a number and I wrote on a piece of paper. Then I went with it. Then in January, then I reached out to her and I said, hey, how are you? I'm doing my merchandising.
A month later?
Yeah. No. Basically a week or two later. So I was doing merchandising. I was selling toothbrushes. My friend, I've sold toothbrushes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was selling toothbrushes in Migori. And I called her and told her, hey,
You are living there in Migori?
No, I was just merchandising. So like I was in charge of the territory from Busia to Machakos for my friend Akumura Kwach.
Yeah.
The owners of Royal Dental Clinic in Kisumu. So I call her and tell her, hey, I'm in Migori. I'm doing merchandising. I was thinking we could meet for maybe a date someday. Like, yeah, I'm still busy. I'm at home. Nini. Fast forward, we met in Nairobi. I came to Nairobi when I was coming to do for Mama Aida the work that I was doing. And she was living somewhere in Kasarani. And we started dating officially on 21st of February of 2021. Officially. And yeah, we dated. Lovely woman. I live my life dedicatingly for that.
Yeah. What was she doing herself?
But then she was an intern nurse at Kenyatta Hospital. And I remember even going to buy a car because I was tired of her moving in public means. She was very pretty, and I didn't want her to suffer. So I remember in the process of doing my works, I got some money and bought a car specifically to transport her back and forth. Yeah, and so we dated up to 2022 August 28th, and I went for the nyombo, and we nyomboed, and we started living together, or rather we were living together already, but now we officiated the marriage, and I got a very beautiful family from them. The mother is one of the best women I've ever met in my life. She's a pastor of my SDA church. The most amazing woman. She would sit with me and story with me and go through the Bible, and that thing that I've always desired in fellowship, I would get it from her. So I would fly from Nairobi, would have just drive to go and sit with her, and she would cook nicely. Me and the food, I don't know what
Where
is
this?
in Kisumu. Kisumu, yeah, she lives in Kisumu. I would go there, would story. So I found a mother in her, a bit that I didn't find in my own mom, and I loved it. Yeah, I found a very good brother-in-law and a very good sister-in-law who I lived with, even in my house here. Yeah. So then things happened in this marriage, which shocked me as well, very much shocked me, because I didn't go out to sort or to seek. I didn't do that. But the information was coming to me, because the time came when the lady was now just not available, especially after we were married. She would take longer shifts at work, got one of the best hospitals in Nairobi to work in. My friend is the CEO there. And things were now not just aligning. She would go for 36-hour shifts.
36?
Yeah, that means 3 days. So she would go and at times even sleep at work. Okay? Question mark to me, but yeah. But there's a specific time when I didn't find it comfortable with what happened. And because some things had happened before as well in the same marriage. It's almost similar to what happened in the first one.
Yeah.
Where, of course, she's a beautiful woman. And I always say beautiful women will be hit on until when they die.
Yeah.
And so men were hitting on her, and so many men. But so me, I say, it's fine, okay? But I didn't know to what extent she had gone to say yes or no to some of them. Of course, I also had, in this second marriage, I had mistakes.
Yeah.
I did some shitty things. And one of them was flirting with women, okay? And I had forgiven her so much on the stuff she did, okay, which were really hurtful to me. But when she found one of my texts that I had chatted with some other woman, I was crucified on it. But I took responsibility. I still do. And I said, it is fine. I chatted with this woman. We've not done anything yet. We've not even gone out for a date. It's just a talk. And because this talk is also coming from a point there, you're unavailable. There's a time we were seated, and I don't like fridges, Jagero. And this lady really wanted a fridge. I don't like, it's a sign of excess.
Fridge?
Yeah. It's a sign of excess to me.
It's just putting meat.
Yeah, it's a sign of excess. I like, because there's so much available. I believe we can get food wherever we want from. We live in a fresh produce kind of environment. We can get food anyway. There's this particular day, and I highlight it because it has something in it which maybe you can perceive, or even the viewers. And she really wanted a fridge, and I was like, no, I don't want a fridge. But still fine, I'll go put some money and lipa pole pole stuff and get you a fridge. So a particular day, she came from work, and she was just moody in the house. And I think for the time that we lived, there's no time that she ever came from work either without the car that I bought or without me picking her. I would drop and pick. And if I'm unable to, I'll give her the car. Like if she's going for a night shift, just go with the car. You'll come back tomorrow morning with it. So this day she came back, and what she told me was that she was not feeling like she was in the right relationship. Though I could see there were signs. And I asked her why. She said, I did you a favor by marrying you. This is not my standard. I said, what is the standard? When I was growing up, I told my mom I would marry a doctor, somebody rich who will take care of me. And unfortunately, this is what you have for now. And you're comparing me with a doctor. I'm only 28. Most of these doctors who you are comparing me with, they are advanced in ages. They are like Jagero, they are 40. They're 40. And there's something that they're enjoying, which is different. Okay. Yeah. And at 28, we're already living in this estate where we are living in. That is Ngong Race Course. We are driving a very nice car, and we are not struggling so much, even if there's a struggle.
Yeah.
You're like, where's the fridge? I want a fridge.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ask me.
She was a nurse. Was she on payroll? She couldn't buy a fridge?
Ask yourself that question.
Because I am thinking that if you're working and you want a fridge is about 30,000. And assuming that you're taking care of everything in the house, then you should just see a pickup with a fridge.
I also thought so.
Or was a fridge metaphorical?
It was very metaphorical. I agree with you on both ends.
Yeah.
It was very I believe that if I want to do something, I'll do it for myself. I don't have to consult you. I just tell you, hey, by the way, I'm getting that fridge.
Yeah.
I've asked you for it, but I can see you're struggling. I'll get it. Now, I wanted this car. I can see you're struggling. I'll get it. Because you are capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. In any case, I was also taking care of other business, which she appreciated. My money was almost done. Okay. So this was also out of place for me. So I drove from the house and went to Shell Kilimani at the Java there. And as I was there, I called the sister and I asked her, hey, your sister's told me something, which has really shocked me today. That she did me a favor by settling with me.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Then the sister told me, now that is my sister. Now the one you've been living with, you don't know. Now that is her. I'm like, what do you mean? She said, yeah, that is my sister. And you just brace yourself. It's going to be bad.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, and I was like, what do you mean? She was like, my sister comes first. She comes first, and I was like, okay. How do I manage? I want to know how to manage, because I'm not losing a second marriage. Jagero, I've failed in a first marriage.
Yeah.
I'm not losing a second.
Because that's what I want.
I'll do everything
because that's what I'm now asking you. Yeah. Because it sounds that you are backed into a wall.
Yeah.
And this is beginning to sound like who really is the problem.
Yeah. And of course, I looking at the whole thing, I say I am the problem because there are things which I didn't do and the things which I did.
Buying a fridge?
No, I don't think that was the issue. Buying a fridge was just a trigger.
Yeah.
Because unaweza tafutiwa kesi. Mimi nimeona kutafutiwa kesi.
Yeah.
Because I cannot forgive you for cheating on me thrice. And you get a flirting message on me, on my phone, a flirting message, and you are blowing off the whole roof.
Exactly.
Okay, so I don't think it was about the free person. So this guy told me, and I was like, oh, okay. So at this moment, the push, she wanted to go to the States. The push of going to the States was now very loud. I want to go to the States. Go to the States. I have to go. And okay, go through Avant nursing agency so that you get a green card, I get a green card. We are both in the US. So we are married, right? No, we are not married.
We are not married.
I've been advised by my friends that it is good that I go there alone.
Okay.
And I said, okay, that makes sense. I can maybe follow you someday. That makes sense. How do we go about it? So me agreeing is a problem. What she does not want is this person who is called Odhiambo. She does not want this one. Okay? But maybe we were also fairly young to each other that we were not able to understand, because for how we were exact age mates, 28. We were not able to find the best way of talking to each other. But a particular time, when I asked her to submit her details to one of my people who was taking people abroad, and that lady called me sometime and asked me, where are your details? I've only seen this lady indicating that she's single. Is she this name is your wife? They're like, yeah, that's my wife. No, but she's indicating she's single. Are you guys married? They're like, yeah, we've done the nyombo. Now what is remaining is signing off certificates. Yeah, you should speed it up so you guys come together.
Speed it up.
Yeah.
But the other person should know that once you've taken the cows, then it is no longer single.
Yeah, no, she indicated single, and so things spiraled. Then some time later, she told me that she wanted to. Now, after she found this flirting message that I had in my phone, I really thought it was nonsense for me. But I appreciate the gravity of how she saw it. I can't argue with her feelings. She felt bad. She felt demeaned, and I took responsibility. And I said, I'm extremely sorry. I don't want even to make excuses. Take the worst action that you can on punishing me. This is something that I don't want to repeat again in my life. Okay? And I think she took the worst decision. And she told me she wants to think about it. So give me a break. So I asked her, you want a break? Okay, take a break. I can go to this other bedroom, back in a bedroom. Then we take a break. And then you know, we'll calm down. Jagero. She said, no, I don't want the break here. I want the break at my sister's.
She's going to her sister's?
Yes. I'm like, no, sit here. Don't go to your sister's. Because I've started perceiving loss.
Yeah.
You can feel it, eh? You can feel it in your veins. I'm losing this woman.
I can feel it.
So, Jagero, she decided to go to us. I remember one Sunday when she went to a party. When she came back, I found her packed. And she asked me, can you drop me at my sister's? And I did. And so I thought it would be a 1-2 week thing. She lived just around here. Skyview, Savo. Yeah. So I used to go there almost every other day because we used to eat together with the sister. I love the sister, amazing woman. We'd go there and sit and eat, and I would meet her. I would still see her every day. We would talk. And there's one time I asked the sister, do you see us going back together? You know, I really love your sister, Bwana. Then she told me, there's nothing wrong in your marriage that cannot be sorted. You guys will sort. A month later, she's not back to the house. I wrote an email, persuasive email. I told her, hey.
To whom?
To my madam. What do you mean to who?
There is no WhatsApp?
I had all those ones. I used to call thoroughly. I used to call, hey, how are you? How are you doing? I remember the day she told me, stop calling me all the time. That's what's called simping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's called simping, yeah?
I think that's called simping. Because you want, she does not want. You, out of fear, you are communicating. Her, out of her confidence, she's like, hey, keep off. Okay?
Yeah.
So on this particular day, the sister asked me to go and pick her. She was going for her internship in town. When I went to the house, I saw a Chanel perfume on something like this, that karak.
Yeah.
And a bouquet of flowers.
Okay.
Of course, the sister is my buddy. She's not a flowery person.
But she's also single.
Yeah, she's not single, of course, but she's not a flowery person. Like, I've known her.
You're figuring who is.
I'm like, no, I'm not. I know. Like these are not the sister's flowers. These are her flowers.
Okay.
And the perfume Chanel. Okay. So I was driving her to.
You're driving her sister or herself?
Her sister.
Yeah.
To her internship place in town.
Yeah.
And in the process, I'm asking her, hey, my heart is bleeding.
Okay.
This thing that I saw in your house, banner, those bouquet and that
Chanel thing.
You know, Chanel mimi sijainunua.
Yeah.
Logistics issue, banner. Huyu competitor wangu maze. What's up?
Oh my God.
The competitor is doing so much, banner. Tell me, but my heart is bleeding.
Yeah.
Then she told me, don't worry, those things are normal.
Oh, your sister is another one.
No, she's a good one. You know, I love her honesty. She told me, don't worry, these are normal. The people hitting on her, of course, that's normal.
Yeah, that's
you
normal.
Don't worry, you may have talked to her. I don't see anything wrong in your marriage. You guys will sort, bana. You guys mtarudiana. Hey, I dropped her sister, but then as I was coming out of the place where I dropped her sister, I called her. I told her, hey, Jagero, I saw those things.
You're calling your wife now. I saw those things.
I saw those things, bana. And, you know, I just wanted to know, like, are we still on or... Because those things are threatening. The bouquet is big, man. It's like, you know, I used to buy her bouquets.
Yeah.
Like, the bouquet is big, man. And the worst of all is that
those motherfuckers that hit on people's wives, they have a way of coming.
They come so strong, man.
And it's not nice.
They come so strong.
Yeah, it's not really nice.
Yeah, and I was like...
They come with their presence.
I tell you. So this Chiquita tells me that... it could be for my sister. What do you mean? Not everything is mine. I tell her, no, look, come on. I know your sister is not that type of a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets flowers, but I know not like this one. This is you. Because the way you preserve them is the same way you preserve my flowers.
Okay.
Your sister does not preserve flowers. But you put them in the water, nini, like we used to do. I still do it. I still also preserve flowers.
Yeah.
So I tell her, I want to see you. And she tells me, come and see me in the evening.
She tells you that?
Yeah.
At the sisters?
Yes, at the sisters. Come, let's talk about this. Then the evening comes. Jagero, I've never shivered in my life like that day.
Oh, really?
I've never shivered in my life like that day.
I think women really make us shiver, and they don't even know. They just think that we are logs with no feelings.
You know, I've never shivered like that in that day or any other day in my life. I don't remember. Out of emotions, not out of temperature.
Yeah.
Out of emotions. My friend, I went there, and we went to the rooftop. I was shaking.
Yeah.
I was shaking. I was like, what's happening with me? Are we going to reconcile? Is she going to tell me it's over? Is this bouquet guy taking over? What's this? Because she taking 1 month away from me, she's gone actually. My conscience could feel that she's gone. And then she tells me, so I want to tell you the truth. I think I'm not ready for this marriage. And it is time you also accept the fact that I felt forced into this marriage. My mother thought you are a good person. I'm like, but your mother knew me after you knew me.
Yeah.
You're the one who even introduced me to her. In any case, in the first instance, your mother didn't like me because I was living with you before we even... So, but anyway, I'm getting your point. And I was like, what do we do? You know, at that moment, do you know losing, bwana? Wachena losing ya kuachana ati yo kwenda hapana. My friend, losing. You're losing a woman right in front of you. The woman is right there and you're losing and you can see she's gone. There's nothing you can do.
She's going.
My friend, I asked her, what can we save? Can we save this marriage? I don't know how I'm going to face the world.
You're telling her?
Yeah. This is, I think now we're 30 or something. Yeah. She had just turned 30. Like, we are. And I'd held a very big birthday. Jesus. So, I asked
held her?
Yeah, held her.
How long ago?
That was in April.
Yeah.
My birthday is 25th of April.
And this is happening?
This is happening just May.
May, that's 3 months.
This May. So, yeah. And she tells me that I have to accept or I give her 2 years.
To think about it?
Think about it, because she's not ready for marriage. Truly, I appreciate that she's being genuine. Others are just ninjas.
Yeah.
And I appreciate to date that she was very genuine. And she told me, I'm not ready for this marriage. I don't think I'm doing justice to you. I think we need to separate. And at least I'm not leaving you with embarrassment. we are leaving each other at a very good space. It was not a good space for me, of course. No man likes to lose in that fashion, especially knowing so well in your mind that there were bouquets there, even if it's a hit man.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a sense of competition. Really.
But how is the word around at this point that you are married again? What is around again that you're married again?
Somebody saying that?
No, I'm saying, no. At this point that you guys are talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What is?
No, it is already known, because in the first one I didn't Nyombo. I consider it a marriage because we lived for 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm genuine and fair enough to understand that you don't live with somebody for 3 years and say we were just girlfriend, boyfriend. No. I had introduced her to my parents. She had introduced me to her parents. The parents had met. That's a marriage, boss.
But also she was very beautiful, and you were very eager to introduce her to your friends. And
the first one or the second one?
The second one.
Of course. I was so happy. The day I Nyombo was the happiest day in my life.
All right.
I danced in a club in Kisumu. I pandad those speakers, Jew. And I danced thoroughly. And there's a friend of mine, this MC tall guy, he has those videos. He told me one day, okay, I will release them. I danced. I enjoyed. It was so amazing. That was the best day. So when she was telling me, like, this is over, and etc., of course, it was painful, but I accepted. I said, fine. I accept.
What was the level of acceptance?
I accepted genuinely from my heart, because I had held on some pains, which I may not share here, for quite some time. And I was like, okay, truly, she has said she's not ready. Those things can now make sense, because you can only understand things in retrospect. Okay, and I said, like, nah, I get it. Okay, point A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, now they make sense. Thank you. I've been able to understand what you're saying. As much as I'm going to be embarrassed because I'm losing a second marriage, it's fine. But I left there with my teeth, my komana, I could not talk. I went into depression.
You went into depression?
I went into depression. Do you know who was taking care of me in my depression?
No.
My very good wife.
Which one?
This one who we had just broken up.
She was coming to cook for you?
No. She would send me medicine. I remember one day I was training a very senior UN diplomat at one of the hotels in town. I got some nice contract. And I was training this diplomat. I didn't know what was happening to me. So as we were seated there, just like this, we were just the two of us. And tears just rolled.
When you were with the guy?
Yes, I was training him. Then tears just rolled off my eyes, and I went into some level of panic. I didn't know what was coming over me, and I had to tell him, excuse me. And I went into the loo, and I cried thoroughly. I cried and called her and told her, I don't know what's going on with me. I'm losing it. And she told me, wait, that's a panic attack. Let me send you She sent me medication. I stopped. I resigned. I remember resigning from everywhere I used to work. I'm revealing for the first time here. I did not resign from those employments because I wanted. I don't know why I resigned. I just woke up one day and I wrote to ODM, said I'm done with you guys. Effectively, I'm resigning from the Ida Odinga Trust. I wrote to Kenya Children's Fund, told them I'm done with you guys. I don't want to work with you. Every client that I was having, I dropped them off. Every friend that I was having, I almost dropped everybody. I remained with Toll. I remember in tech, 2 friends who I would call and relate with. The rest, gone.
But then you were
Then I went
eating
to
and getting money.
Kisumu and then sat with a friend of mine who hosted me for quite some time, Ruth Mbata, the owner of Kalongolongo. I remember we used to hang out with her alone. I lived in a hotel for about 4 months. And then that's when I started doing public speaking events. Because I was channeling my energy out. But this depression is not taking me nowhere. Yeah, now I want to do something that at least will give me the confidence that Then I started doing the events for public speaking. And that's how I've been to date. So my 2 marriages, I married very beautiful women, amazing women, beautiful, beautiful at heart. But life's choices that they made and that I made were not matching at that time. And I've introspected and I've seen my character, the mistakes which I did. I didn't put boundaries early on some instances. When I introduced them late, it was rebelled against. There are things which I did, like the flirting, which was not very right by any standard. And I believe even me, I would not tolerate her flirting. So there are those choices that we made which were not good. And yeah, that's it.
That was a courageous story, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much for allowing me to share the story. I hope some people will learn.
Yeah. Some people will obviously learn from it.
And some will not also learn, even if...
Yeah, it's marriage, I think, is a very... Sometimes I feel like marriage is underestimated. Sometimes I feel like it is overestimated. There are people who go there to get whatever they cannot get, and finally they realize that what I wanted here I can't get, so they hope out of it.
Most people go into marriages to find the part of them which they don't have in the other person. Now that's the mistake. You should go into a marriage full with what you're going to share.
Yeah.
Now
with,
that's why
with what you're going to share.
Yeah, with what you're going to share. You must be going in with something to share. Like I'm going in at 140%. I have 40 to share.
Yeah.
Okay. Or I'm going in at 200%. I have 100% to share. So also you better come good because I'm coming full from my side. So the biggest reason why most marriages today fail, if you ask me, I'll tell you, it is the aspect of individualism. Most people are going into marriages looking out for themselves, not looking out for the other partner. But ideally, you should go out in marriage looking out for the other partner so that you give. And as you give, you benefit. Kate Ferrazzi says in the book, Never Eat Alone, that the only sure path to growth is generosity. Give, and you will receive. And so that's why many marriages fail. But also, there are people who are mean.
It's interesting that you're talking to me about give. So well, you know what happened to me the other day? I was my nephew lives in the village, and so he wanted to do some business in the market.
Okay.
And I thought maybe I should just give him my PS5 so that he goes and
PS5?
PS4.
Oh, PS4.
Yeah. So I give him PS4 and the parts. Man, I love that thing.
Yes. I know. It's a painful thing to give.
Yeah.
You're sacrificing.
Yeah, literally. So I give him.
Yeah.
I give him that PS4.
Yeah.
He went with it to the village. My wife gave him the money to start the business.
Yes.
So now, the other day, a package arrived from Amazon.
Yes.
And there are two controllers.
Yes.
PS4 controllers.
Yes.
And so my wife is telling me, so the controllers have arrived before the PS. And I'm telling her, there's a PS, Mara. There's a PS. I've just bought the controllers.
For who?
I don't know you ingine if I die.
For PS5 now or for the PS4?
Any.
Okay.
I'm just buying the controllers.
Yeah, you're manifesting.
I want to. Yes, I'm starting to buy things because even if you buy a PS4, a PS5 or a PS4, a new one, you will still need a controller.
Of course, yes.
So I want to start with the controllers.
Then the rest will come.
I was really shocked at that move.
Yes. I'll be sure it will come back.
She bought me a PS5.
Look at that. Look at that.
So I think that and the other day there is a lady who came here, a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And she's having problems. She keeps telling me that I can deal with this bad camera, but audio is shit, man. So I give her my Rode mics.
Yes.
And the following week somebody sends me a DJI mic.
Wow. A fan?
Yes.
Look at that.
A fan.
So that theory is tested.
Yeah, it's tested, and that is why for me, when you are talking about the fact that people are good, I have a testimony about how people good are. When I came into this city, my mother told me, how are you going to go to school? Because I do not have school fees. Your father died 2 years ago, and I just said, I'm coming to the city because I cannot, the dream that I have of becoming a journalist and a mass communicator and a writer, I cannot do it from the village and I cannot do it from Kisumu. So I have to go to Nairobi. My mother dies 5 months into me coming into the city. And I become a total orphan in a new college with no school fees, with nowhere to stay. My uncle stayed with me for 2 years. And then a friend of mine took me over and stayed with me for another year in Kawangware.
This is here.
Yeah, just here. But then something really happened that the lady that was teaching mass communication, I told her, where you went, yes, I told her that I'm leaving college because obviously this is becoming too torturing. I don't have school fees, I don't have anything. And she told me, write a letter to the principal and tell them to give you scholarship. And I'm like, this lady, what is she talking about? Turns out this lady was actually very close to the owner of the school.
Wow.
So I write the letter.
Yes.
And I send it to the principal. I leave it at the principal's office, and I don't hear anything for 3 weeks. Then this principal, this time, I don't know what I was doing at the reception. He comes in and says, "You're Ken Anthony. I've been looking for you." So I get to his office and tell me I received your letter and I read it and I talked with the people that I need to talk to. And there's good news that we are going to erase all your debt. We are going to give you scholarship for the next 2 years.
Yes.
So I went to school for free. Tertiary.
Look at that.
You know?
Yes.
And you know something that I also wondered was that when I was coming from Kisumu, I thought that my Luo relatives will help me.
Oh, they don't. You didn't know? Karibu mjini, bro.
Sema pole pole.
Hapa ni chuo kikuu.
Yeah,
Karibu sana mjini.
And for me, that is why the idea of tribalism has never entered my head.
Yeah.
Because the lady that helped me was a Kalenjin.
All right.
And the principal was a lawyer.
All right.
And when my first book called True Citizen.
Yes. I need to read that book. You need to give it to me.
That book is amazing.
Please.
Do you know what it's about? It's about...
Yeah, you told me about predicting the genes.
No. That's not the thing.
Oh, that's just a part of it.
That's part of it.
Okay.
The book is about a police officer, a matatu conductor falling in love with the wife of a constable.
Hey.
Yeah.
What's going on in your mind? Your mind is a storm, man. You don't think of the bullets flying.
Yeah,
already.
so that is the story, and that is how that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So when I had my manuscript and I had nobody, I talked with Boniface Mwangi.
Oh.
And I told Boniface Mwangi, I don't have money.
But I have a manuscript.
I have a manuscript. Boniface Mwangi gave me 80,000.
Wow. He's such a kind man.
Yeah. And when the book was printed, I went back to him. I told him, now this book, how do we launch it? How do we launch it?
Yes.
And Boniface Mwangi gave me a room at Power 254. We were at next to the Ethiopian embassy, the other side.
Oh, yeah,
of town.
219.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Boniface Mwangi talked with the office to give bites. So we printed the book. He organized for the space to launch the book, and he organized for bitings.
Wow. Such a kind man.
Yeah.
You stand on the shoulder of strong men.
I have seen it.
Yeah. Kindness has followed you.
So I believe even the podcast when I started it, Boniface Mwangi's office, this is where it was born. For the first 6 months, it was in Boniface Mwangi's office.
Wow.
Where his wife now, the one that now his wife leads now, he went to Courage Base.
Yes.
But Power 254 was left in the hands of the wife. And they did that. So every idea that I have ever done, it has been done by people that love me. What is a podcast? A podcast is basically subscribers and followers.
Yes.
So now that's people giving you.
So many people.
They're
you
giving
could see the love in Kisumu, right? And even in Nairobi. I don't know why you didn't realize the Nairobi one. The Nairobi one was massive as well. I want to say it.
But I think the Kisumu one was...
The Kisumu one was overwhelming.
Because I went to Costa.
Let me tell you.
And these people could see me in the dark.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
When I was starting my public speaking training,
okay,
I launched it in Kisumu. This theory of a prophet is not accepted in their home is false.
It's false.
I went into Kisumu, paid Acacia. I knew nobody was going to come to the public speaking event anyway. I paid 100,000 shillings. And I knew nobody was going to turn up. But I was doing it just to make myself feel good that I've done it.
Why are you paying 100,000 for everybody that was coming?
Yes. Because I had budgeted 100 people who were coming in. And
100 people?
Yes, and I was buying tea. So I was like, if there's nobody who's coming, I will take tea with whoever is there and we'll go home. But surprise, do you know what happened?
No.
People turned up. 117 people.
They were paying customers.
They were paying. What do you mean? They paid.
What do you think would happen if I were to do a live recording in Kisumu?
It will be full. We can do it. Me, I'm ready. I am very ready. Let's do this.
Promise me you can help me do it.
What do you mean? I've helped people do stuff.
Okay.
These are very small ones.
You know, we can pick here until midnight, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, to pick a story.
Thank you.
When you wanted to come here and you fill that form, that stupid form. And then you took off. I was like, this guy. So now I was wondering, Maria has not done a job.
Where's Maria? I need to see her.
These are employees that don't come during holidays.
She gave me stories. She gave me questions.
Yeah.
question. I said, I will get Jagero. I'm tired of feeling
So
sorry.
thank you very much, people of the internet. It was really interesting. Your gig is you help people.
I help people to speak, regain themselves.
Yeah.
Because in the journey of life, we lose ourselves. Especially if you track it, you'll find that the moments when you lose yourself. So I help you get back and stay on track and focus on your goals.
Okay.
And achieve it confidently without the fear of being judged.
And how do people get you, bro?
Of course, very easy. On Instagram, Odhiambo PR, Odhiambo _PR. On LinkedIn, which I love most, Odhiambo Brian Otieno. On Facebook, Odhiambo Brian Otieno. Oh, should I give my number?
Yes, you can.
Okay. My number is 0704 341 733. You can holler at me. And we're always doing our sessions actually at Social House, first and last Saturday of the month. Like this June, I don't know if this thing will come out before the end of the month. This June, we're having something good.
At the social?
At the Social House. It's called the 6 Degrees Reveal. It's a masquerade wine party.
What is a masquerade one party?
Masquerade wine party is a party where people are in masks. We're going to talk.
And my chodi.
No, it's for public speaking. And we're having some of the most epic leaders you would ever want to listen to. Tell you
When is that?
This 28th of June, from 6 in the evening.
My wife has always wanted me to take her to those kind of parties
Please
where people do those.
It is amazing.
She has that mask. I think that is us.
Oh, this. That is
by the way.
That's a good one.
That's
really
us.
scary. You don't come with that to the masquerade party.
What do you come with?
There's a nice one. There's a better one. I'll show you.
You send me a picture.
I'll send you a picture.
I'll buy it from AliExpress.
I welcome you, and maybe you give me 5 of your fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we come?
The tickets are going at 5,500.
5,500. That is 5,500.
Yes.
My fans have
Oh,
money.
they're moneyed, I know.
My fans have money.
I saw.
Kina Dr. Zippy.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Someday you should make me meet her.
Zippy.
Yeah.
Until another episode. Bye for now.